Is the Florida housing market a bubble waiting to burst? This is your March 2023 housing market update for Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, and Wellington. And while the most recent data that has been published by the Realtor Association is for March, you can bet your sweet pippy I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening right now because nobody cares about yesterday's news. They want to know what's happening today in today's markets. So we will compare and contrast what happened in March versus what's happening right now in order to empower you with the best information to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. My name is Chris Igo. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate your participation in our journey, and I will 1000% cover each city within Broward, within Dade, within Palm Beach County, and throughout the state of Florida in every metro very soon. So please keep watching. And if you've been watching for a while, you know that I've talked about the South Florida market being more insulated than other markets that exist due to the fact that there is a shortage of land to develop. There simply is no more land. And because we are geographically bordered by the Everglades to the west and the ocean to the east, land is scarce, and the amount of available land for development is absolutely a limiting factor when it comes to supply of housing. And in order to give you some context, I went to the Housing Shortage Tracker, which is put out by the National Association of Realtors, which computes how many new permits are issued for every new job in 174 metro areas. Based on the historical average, one permit is issued for every 2 new jobs. But to be abundantly clear, that's not the case for many metro areas. But given that we're talking about the South Florida market, I think it's important to understand what that looks like and what that shortage actually is. And so I'm going to drill down deep here into my hyperlocal market, which of course is the Miami-Fort Lauderdale West Palm Beach Metro, which, as you can see indicated in red, has a high housing shortage, and a new single family unit permit is issued for every 21 new jobs, which is a massive shortage based on the historical average of one permit being issued for every 2. And supply and demand will always dictate price. And I suspect will insulate many markets within the South Florida market from many of the price changes that are happening throughout the country. But make no mistake, the pain of recession will affect everyone, and no market will escape its wrath. Which takes us to the predominant builder, which has made an absolute fortune by developing resort-style luxury communities in Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach. And GL is pulling out all the stops in their final pitch for county land swap. They're willing to build a $150 million water project. And if you've been watching for a while and have checked out any of my immersive tours that exist within the channel on a separate playlist, you know that as I've toured around some of these areas, I've pointed out the agricultural land that is very likely to be developed at some point in the future, because there is no more land for developers to develop. But GL has made a fortune in doing so, and they continue to pursue land by adding sweeteners to their proposal as it seeks Palm Beach County approval to build another high-end development on preserved land in the agricultural reserve, which is west of Boca Raton. And those sweeteners now include, in addition to the $150 million water resource project, a $40 million 277 unit of workforce housing. The complex will include apartments and for sale residences. It will also include a 25-acre parcel for a county park. And because I suspect GL Homes knows its audience, they're also offering land for a synagogue and special needs facility for seniors and the developmentally disabled. Which, if you've been watching for a while, then you might be able to help me build the position that I might be able to qualify for being developmentally disabled and get a better deal on a home. But all jokes aside, county commissioners are expected to decide May 3rd whether to approve the land swap. And to be clear, GL has already built more than 10,000 homes in this market, including Boca Bridges, Seven Bridges, Lotus, and the Bridges. And the swap is very appealing to GL because the homes it sells in the Ag Reserve will fetch a much higher price than homes in the acreage, which is why it is critical to work with the professional that understands the hyperlocal markets in which you're shopping in order to advocate and negotiate for you the right way, because the acreage trades completely differently than Boca, Delray, or Boynton Beach. And this swap would be a massive win for GL because the Ag Reserve covers 22,000 acres west of Boca, Delray, and Boynton, just east of the Arthur R. Marshall National Wildlife Refuge. And if county commissioners remove the development restriction, GL will build a 1,000-unit 55-plus development on what is currently called the Hyder West parcel, west of State Road 7 and just north of the Stonebridge Country Club. And to be clear, GL is known for luxury resort-style communities, and each home that they are going to develop is expected to sell for significantly more than $1 million. And while this is seen as a no-brainer by many folks, there is strong opposition to this proposal, and critics claim that the land swap would set a dangerous precedent that could result in other builders looking to build on preserved land in the Ag Reserve. And what critics are pointing out, and what the truth is that GL Homes chose to preserve that Hyder West parcel so they could increase the density in the developments that they've already built. But money talks and bullshit walks, and now they want that development restriction lifted. Critics call that unfair. I call it total bullshit. But Chris, you're a real estate professional, and you get paid when you help somebody buy or sell. And yes, that's obviously true. Of course, I want to help people buy and sell homes. And of course, I want them to find their dream home and dream lifestyle. But as a resident of Boynton Beach and someone who's lived in Florida for over 40 years, I also know there's something called overdevelopment. And at some point, enough is enough. And while GL and the county are negotiating whether this is even going to be feasible or not, GL intends to fully develop its project of nearly 4,000 homes in the acreage, period. End of story. But if this is approved, it will mark the first time ever where it was allowed for a developer to unpreserve land in the Ag Reserve with land outside the Ag Reserve. But the argument is, in addition to workforce housing and the synagogue and the special needs development, the water quality will be significantly improved in the county. And as per GL's water resource team, the Lake Worth Lagoon often receives too much fresh water, which contains harmful nutrients and often results in the formation of toxic algae blooms. And while that might be true, how many people are drinking tap water to begin with in the first place in this county? I suspect almost everybody is drinking either filtered or bottled water. And I'm not going to get into a big debate about what that plastic is doing to the environment, or this is going to be a 10-hour video, but I do know that GL is going to be building more homes. And the demand for those luxury products in luxury communities with resort-style amenities without the fees is going to be off the hook, because demand for new construction in communities like this in Boca, Delray, and Boynton is through the roof. But let's see what March data looked like so we can govern ourselves accordingly. And keep in mind, I'm also going to show you what's happening right now in April. But as of March 2023, single family homes in Boca Raton down 19.5%. Median sales price down 10.6% from $872.5 to $780. Average sales price on the uptick, up 2.1% from 1.202 to 1.226, 2% increase, single digit appreciation, which is what I suspect you're going to see throughout the state of Florida in most markets for the next year. Nonetheless, dollar volume took a hit, down almost 18%. Percent of original list price received, down 9.3%. By 101%, hello, 91.7. Time to contract on the uptick 190.5%. Gone are the days of 21 days. And welcome to the party 61 days, which is not going to be the case if you know how to market and sell and price your home the right way. Because you can definitively create a market within a market which creates competitive dynamics, and you will definitively find the one buyer on planet Earth willing to pay more than anybody else. And if that's something we can help with, please contact me directly because that is one of our specialties. Pending sales down 2.3%. New listings down 18.5%. New listings are in short supply in Boca Raton. Inventory of homes for sale on the uptick, 53.8%. 532 homes in March sitting on the market unsold, which translates into the month supply of inventory from 1.6 months to 3.4, an uptick of 112.5%. It is trending to a buyer's market fast for resale in Boca Raton. But given that was March and we're at the end of April, and it's going to take a month for the Realtor Association to publish what the old news is, let's look at what today's stats are. And current versus previous month to date, the average sold price is on the downtick, down 3.6% from a high of 606 to a low of 584. And if we look at the current versus same month to date 1 year ago, what you can see is just under single digit growth, 0.9% to be exact, from 579 to 584. But if we look at the current versus previous year to date, what you can see is from the period of January 1st, 23 to April 24th of 23 versus the same period in 22, the average sold price is up 9.5% from 546 to 598. And to be clear, this does not include new construction. That is a completely different market, which I've covered in the past and will continue to update you on. Which takes us to the Delray Beach single family housing market. And what you can see in March of 2023 is that closed sales are on the uptick, up 6.7%. Median sales price is on the uptick, up 13.2% from 650 to 736. But average sales price, which includes the higher price points, is down almost 14%. From 1.227 to 1.057, 14% depreciation in terms of average sales price. No bueno if you're counting on that equity to cash out with. Dollar volume's down 8.2%. Percent of original list price received is down 8%. Bye-bye 99.4. Hello 91.4. Median time to contract on the uptick to 50 days from 32, an increase of 56%, which is a return to normal. Pending sales down 15.2%. New listings down almost 8%, 166 new listings. Inventory of homes for sale, big jump. 321 homes are sitting on the market unsold in Delray Beach as of March 2023, an increase of 61%. Great news if you're thinking about buying in Delray, no bueno if you're thinking about selling. And that translates into month supply of inventory up 111%, 3.6 months from 1.7, trending to buyer's market fast. But given you're interested in what's happening now and probably not interested in an academic exercise with no real world economic value, we must know what's happening right now for today. And if we look at today's stats at the bottom of the screen, you can't help but notice that the current versus previous month to date average sold price skyrocketed. It's up almost 30% from 1.016 to 1.318. Big jump month over month. And if we look at today's stats, current versus same month a year ago, the same trend applies, up 26% from 1.046 to 1.318. Big jump. And if we look at current versus previous year to date, those same trends apply, up almost 21% from 1.65 to 1.288. Massive appreciation in Delray Beach across the board, at least so far in April, which has changed radically when compared to March. Which is why it is critical you work with a professional that understands the hyper local market dynamics in order to advocate and negotiate for you the right way. Which takes us to Boynton Beach. Boynton Beach, single family homes. Boynton Beach is the city where I live. And to be clear, I'm giving you the macro pictures of each of these cities. The hyperlocal markets that you may be thinking about buying or selling in will definitively trade differently, because this is a bigger picture and you must know the granular numbers. If you ever want to know what the granular numbers are, please reach out, because I'm happy to share them with you. And we're always here to serve and support you at the highest level. But Boynton Beach closed sales down 17.5%. Median and average sales price are both on the uptick in March. Median sales price jumped from 495 to 530, up 7.1%, and average sales price went from 544 to 621, an uptick of 14.1%. Dollar volumes down almost 6%. Percent of original list price received is down from 100.6 to 93.6, a decrease of 7%. Median time to contract up 235.7%. Woo! Big number. However, it's a return to normal. 47 days is certainly a more normal market than 14. Pending sales are down 1.5%. New listings are down 5%. Inventory of homes for sale is up almost 100%, 99 to be exact. There are 380 homes sitting on the market unsold in Boynton Beach, which translates into an uptick of 150% in terms of months supply of inventory, 2.5 months versus 1. To be abundantly clear, 2.5 months is still a seller's market. But that's old news, and we want to know what's happening right now. And if we look at today's stats on the bottom of the screen, you can see that the average sold price, current versus previous month to date, is on the downtick, down 3.6%, from 606 to 584. And if we look at the current versus the same month to date from a year ago, we see an uptick of almost 1%, single digit appreciation, from 579 to 584. And if we look at the current versus previous year to date, which encompasses January 1st to 4/24 of this year versus 2022, you can see that the number has jumped big time, up almost 10%, from 546 to 598. And so far in April, we're on the downtick when compared to March, which takes us to our grand finale. We're going to end in Wellington single family homes. And the Wellington housing market took a hit. Closed sales down 25.3%. Median sales price on the downtick, down 4.6%, from 730 to 696,700. Average sales price also on the downtick, down 0.6%, from 1.253 and change to 1.246 and change. Dollar volume down almost 26%. Percent of original list price received down almost 4%. Median time to contract is flat, which is a return to normal. Pending sales is down almost 34%. New listings are down almost 20%. Inventory of homes for sale is up 43%. 216 homes sitting on the market unsold in the Wellington market as of March. And month supply of inventory predictably upticked too, up 105% to 3.7 months versus 1.8, which, to be clear, is trending to a buyer's market fast. And if you thought March was bad, then wait until you see what April's numbers are, because today's stats are no bueno if you're thinking about selling in the Wellington market, because the average sold price is on the downtick by 7.4%. From 1.175 to 1.088. And if we look at the current versus the same month to date a year ago, as far as average sold price is concerned, you see double digit declines, down 26.1%, from 1.472 to 1.088. That's almost a $500,000 swing, which I suspect is no bueno if you're thinking about selling in the Wellington market, and great news if you're shopping for a deal in Wellington. But if we look at the current versus previous year to date, the numbers aren't as dramatic, but they're double-digit declines, down almost 11%, from 1.173 to 1.046. No bueno if you're counting on that equity and you're thinking about selling in Wellington. But great news if you're shopping for a deal in the Wellington market. Now, I hope you found this content valuable, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. Special shout out to my main man, one of my biggest fans on the channel, Shaka Zulu, because karma is coming for you, and karma cannot be denied. And karma happens to be his favorite comment. So special shout out to you. And please stay tuned because I will cover every city that exists within Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County, as well as every metro that exists within the state of Florida as soon as I possibly can. And check out my next video because I suspect you will love it a lot. And until next time,